to. If you are fighting with your hair right now, or maybe there are just those times where you say, I've got to look good and I can't get to the salon, what's my option? That's why Gabor Wigs is a show that you should watch. And even if you just give us a few minutes, we've got 4 different styles that we're gonna feature for you this morning. And I think that there is gonna be a style for every personality. We've got lots of colors, we've got all of the details, and we have the gentleman of the hour. He knows hair, and he's gonna help us out. His name is Martino Cartier. He's an amazing stylist, award-winning, highly sought after, and we're glad that you're here.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Good morning, everyone.
Definitely. Okay, so we are gonna start off with it's called the Strength. It's a modern boy cut wig, a beautiful style and a beautiful look. But first off, who would be right for a wig?
Anybody that woke up this morning at 9 o'clock and doesn't have time to do your hair, and you can just put it on and out the door you go.
Yes.
They're also for people that maybe you want to change your color, but you don't want the commitment. You know, this is fun. You can purchase more than one in multiple colors. Believe me, when you see the models, how phenomenal they look over there, you're going to understand why. They're super light, they're easy to adjust, they're easy to maintain, and the best part, in my opinion, about this collection is that it's a fiber known as heat-friendly synthetic, which means yes, you can curl it. Yes, you can flat iron it, but if you like it just the way it is, nothing in the elements can change it. No humidity, no water, it can't go flat, it can't frizz because there's no cuticle.
This is good. We're gonna see this on because I think that's the main thing, is for you to see how beautiful these are on our ladies and how great they're gonna be on you. Look at how great everybody looks.
These not phenomenal. This sexy gray is so beautiful. And again, as I said to you, there's multiple shades within that wig, more than 50 shades of gray in this bad boy. Let me just tell you that. And it looks so natural. It looks beautiful. I mean, take a look. And if you, I mean, come on. That is so beautiful.
It's the perfect taper.
It is the perfect taper, and you don't get that split in the back with these. Yeah, here's the back of her head. So this is close to her own color. So that, because these are such a high quality, you can integrate your own hair within the wigs. For example, if you wanted to comb some of your own bang down to blend into it, or if you wanted to have some of this fringe at the bottom, she could use her own hair, but you cannot tell it's a wig. Very undetectable.
No, that's right. The texture's good, the color's good, it's not too glossy.
You're just gonna say that. You know, when you buy, when you get a synthetic wig, and they're not heat friendly, typically most of the time they look like plastic Barbie doll hair, right? But this does it. This is beautiful, it's fun, it's sexy, it's just really beautiful. But what I love is that this young lady, this sexy silver fox, is going to become a blonde right before your eyes. So go ahead and show them how easy it is to do yourself. You get this little wig cap with it, comes with it, complimentary with the wig.
And what do I do? I just tuck my hair under?
Yeah, look, she holds the bang, she pulls the nape down, she's gonna check her little temples, we call that the GPS of the wig, and that kind of lets you know that it's on there even. And then she's gonna comb it or brush it, and it's the same exact wig, but now she went from a silver fox to a California girl, a blonde.
Look at that.
So I'm gonna do this real quick for her.
No commitment in hair color, you know, it's always gonna be this beautiful shade. She doesn't have to worry about losing her highlights. It's always gonna be perfect.
How easy is that?
I mean, and that was in seconds.
That's seconds. And that's right out of the box, right? So, and that's her before. So look how cute she looks. I mean, it's unbelievable, right?
I love that. So this could be a new color for you. It could be a new length or cut for you. And look at that.
Can we talk about length for a minute?
Let's do it.
Okay, so this woman right here, gorgeous. Look how beautiful this face is, right? Now, when you see her before, she has a lot of hair. So sometimes women think, oh, I have so much hair, there's no way I could wear a wig. Take a look at her before shot. She has a lot of hair. And we simply just tucked it under that wig cap that you get. And maybe she didn't want to cut her hair short because it takes so long to grow it back. But she wants to feel sassy, and she wants to have that little short, fun look, swipe right. And now everybody wants to swipe right looking at her because she's smoking. You feel smoking?
Oh, yeah.
I feel a little Tina coming out of you or something. I don't know.
There's something about a new hairstyle that it just does it for you, right?
Absolutely.
So all they did was put it on. If I wanted to curl it or flat iron it, I could do that.
Absolutely, and keep in mind, when you change the style with heat, with these wigs, nothing can take the style out but heat again. There's no cuticle. So you can go to the beach, you can be in the humidity, it cannot frizz or go flat. You can get caught in the rain, and when it air dries, the wave, the body, the curl, all comes back.
Oh my gosh,
it's like a miracle.
So good.
It's a miracle. You wanna change yours for me? Can you see your beautiful self right here?
So what color is she wearing?
Right now she's wearing the black.
Okay, because we do have all of the colors. Should we show you the colors?
Yeah, let her put this red one on real quick, and then we'll go. So she's got her little cap on.
Is she gonna go red? I've always secretly wanted to be a redhead.
Really?
Secretly, it's a secret, nobody knows.
I know a man that can help you do that, baby.
Do you really? I just love it, you know?
Check your GPS. She's gonna check her GPS. There's these little tabs at your temple, and you put your fingers on them. When your fingers are even, the wig's even. She pulled down her nape. Now I'm gonna help her brush it. Stand up, because she really doesn't have a mirror, so I wasn't being too fair to her. But you did a great job. You did a good job.
And you can really see all of the colors.
Yeah, this has highlights, it has low lights, it's got mid lights, but take a look at that. Now look at her before shot, and you tell me she doesn't look smoking, okay?
Oh my God.
That is so beautiful. She looks so, look at that, okay? And she looks happier, if you ask me.
You know what? If she had to go to a salon to get that color,
you better bring out your credit card, baby, because that's breaking the bank.
For sure.
All those colors in there,
and
beautiful.
Have all day and commit to it.
All of the wigs have 7 to 12 different shades to create the depth that you're gonna see in all of them, which if you wanna go over the colors, we can do that real quick for you.
Let's do it, so that you can decide. And you're gonna see a lot of different styles of wigs this morning, 4 different, but all the same color options. So shall we start in the front?
Well, you can if you want.
Okay, so we've got our blonde that's gonna be right here in the front. You have medium blonde, and then that's the one right next to it. I'm using our cheat sheet. This is the red. And then we have, what's next to the red?
This is light red, this is medium red, this is brown gray, and this is gray, which is my silver fox, okay?
Very nice.
Now the black, you have black and you have dark brown. Very similar in color. I know we're limited on quantity, so don't think if we run out of the black, you can still do the dark brown. It's very close. You're gonna see a little bit more of a warm tone in the dark brown. We have our medium brown, we have our light brown, we have our dark blonde. I mean, these got out of order.
Blonde.
Yeah, brown blonde, thank you. And again, all of them, you're gonna see lots of colors, lots of dimension to be able to give you that look that doesn't look like a wig.
That's right, and that's what it's about. It's about the right texture, it's about the right color, colors that blend, and then it's finding the right cut. And so if you love this style, it's like a modern boy cut, then do it, for sure. You've got it at $99, and I'm telling you, for a really great wig that holds up, that you can use heat on, that is gonna stay, you know, keep the style, you would pay a lot of money for that, and I love that it's less than $100. So try it out.
Take a look at this, right? So now you've seen 2 women be able to change their own hair without me even touching it. So this looks beautiful on her. I'd like for you to see her before shot, because you're just gonna see what a difference. Again, what if she didn't want to cut her bob into this fun little pixie cut? Or what if she didn't have the patience to let her bang her out to be, you know, a nice side fringe? Now, do me a favor, you have the brown gray in your hand, right? I love this color. Do me a favor, you can see yourself? Swap that bad boy out for me.
Okay. And you can see they're all doing it exactly the same way. There are are there any clips or pins or anything in the?
I'm going to show you the construction as soon as she puts this on, because it's very important, the construction, because, you know, growing up, my grandmother used to try to wear wigs, and back then, you know, I mean, I'm 44, so wigs 39 years ago, let me tell you, we've come a long way. You know, these are undetectable, and I'm gonna show you that they're super light, they're super cool, and good, good. Here, you need a brush?
And look, you see she changed the color, and it completely changes the look. And that's the idea. You know, you saw her before. Maybe you're thinking about cutting your hair, but you're not exactly sure yet. Instead of making the commitment and maybe not liking it, try a wig first.
Did you check your GPS? Good girl. All right, let me see. I want to see. I can't see. Good. So I'm going to brush her sides down just like that, right? Okay. And do this like this. And here's a little piece of her hair that came out of the cap. Boom, boom, boom.
Okay.
You got to go over here.
But look at how fast this is.
Super
a lot faster
quick.
than styling our own hair in the morning.
Well, that's the truth.
You know?
Absolutely. And I love this color. Color looks great on her. Let's talk about the construction real quick.
Okay.
All right. So again, this is super, super, super light. There's nothing to it. Now, why is it comfortable? Number one, you have this really soft felt pad right here, so there's no irritation. Why is it not hot? Well, let's just see, because it's super breathable. My fingers go through it, right? And then how is it so easy to wear? Because you have this pull and stick, boom, done. If you have a lot of hair, you can open up those tabs to give you a lot of room. If you have even more than that, you can open them and leave them. Okay. Because this will stretch with you. See how they're moving the tabs? Yeah. So it's just really light and nothing to do. You just put it on.
That's it. That's it. It's already styled. It's already cut and it's already curled. If you maybe want to customize it to yourself, you could take it to a stylist, right?
Absolutely. I always tell people, well, I mean, I do it in my own salon, but when we do the hair shows, I tell people, when you take your wig, get your wig, take it to your favorite hairdresser. Let them tailor make that to fit you. Maybe you want the fringe a little shorter, or maybe you want, you maybe want disconnected. One side cut out around the ear, one side not. Make it your own. Get it home, take it to your favorite hairdresser, and yeah, I mean, this looks great. Her hair looks great. Wow. And again,
look at that.
You know, listen, gray's trending right now. Gray's big, it's hot in the industry. So maybe she doesn't want to color her hair and get rid of her gray, but maybe once in a while she just wants to feel like she's got the blonde hair. Now she can do that without committing to it. And it doesn't look like a wig.
I know. That's the main thing. From the front, side, back, it doesn't. It just looks natural.
Absolutely.
And when you're wearing a wig, we wear wigs for a lot of different reasons, whether it's because it's hard for us to style. We don't want to commit to changing our color. We want to try out a different style. Maybe your hair, for a lot of different health reasons, is not what it used to be. It's important to have something that you feel that makes you feel confident and gives you your sense of self back.
It's kind of liberating for a woman and empowering for her to be able to wake up, change her style, change her color, just for her mood, just for her outfit. Because I can tell you, once you get used to wearing a wig, you're gonna treat it like a wardrobe. Right. You'll have them hanging on hangers in your closet.
You name them. They're your friends. I always say hair is accessory. Just like I change my shoes in my bag, I change my hair. And this is a way that you can.
Absolutely.
So this is a bob. I mean, this is a modern boy cut. It's a modern boy cut.
Look how great that looks. Yeah. I mean, that really looks great. She looks like she's got a hair attitude now. She's looking all sexy in the camera. It really looks good.
All right, let's go over the colors again, Martina, so that you can help us choose our color. So we can choose the color that's most like us, or just to choose a color we've always wanted to be.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid. You can have more than one color. It's okay. Like, you know what I mean? You can coordinate it to your mood. You can coordinate it to your outfit. But you're seeing all the beautiful colors. Each one has 7 to 12 different shades to match that color. That's going to give you that depth. There's highlights, there's lowlights. It just gives you that beautiful color. You can see the dark is gorgeous. It's just enough to look healthy, shiny. It doesn't look like it's plastic. The dark brown is rich. They all have the most beautiful shades to give you, again, that depth and that beautiful natural look.
For sure. Medium brown, light brown, brown blonde, and dark blonde. And we've got them all for you. I know that we need to go, but remember, we do have several other styles for you. And you can go ahead and get the boy cut, the modern boy cut. But we're gonna move on to the Visionary. And the Visionary is a